was not working. Was not working. So yeah. All right, if you can hear me, give me the thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section in the live chat box. Put a thumbs up. You can't nod because I can't see you, so don't nod. But let me know what's going on, so I could know that y'all hearing me okay. It seems like the last one. Like I said, I tried to get on and this wasn't working right. The camera, we got this fancy camera. It's supposed to be working, but it works great, but not for live. My computer's old. It's like 12 years old. It's a Mac. It's the old school Mac, but whatever. It is what it is. I'll just use this webcam. I hope it ain't too grainy. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just share this message with y'all really quickly. I wanted to encourage you. Just keep going. Don't stop. Don't quit. The thing is about YouTube, it's a tricky place. All right. You'll come on here and people will act like, it's curated. To me, it's a lot like Instagram. And there's a lot of people on here that pose and act like, I'm not trying to throw shade. I ain't trying to hate. I mean, we all want to put the best foot forward, but people come on here and they act like they just came out their mother's womb with just crazy skills, and they don't really show you the struggle. I remember sitting at a keyboard, not this one, because I wouldn't have done it this one. This one cost so much money. I had an old school Casio. I remember when I first started playing, and I was trying to be like the cats in church, especially my MD. He was bad. This dude was an organ. He was just nasty. For those of you that don't know what an MD is, musical director, choir director, same thing, same difference. And I would try to learn these songs. And I remember one day I just took the keyboard and I just got so mad. I just flipped it. Not at the church, my own Casio keyboard. I paid for me, that was expensive back then, about $300 for it. And broke some of the connections in the back and whatever. Of course, as it fell, but I had a little bit of technical skill, so I kind of fixed it up. But it was just showing you the frustration that I went through. Because I started playing a little bit later in life. I started playing, this is like the late 90s. So I'm about 18 years old, and I'm in school and stuff like that. And I wanted to play because, hey, what's going on, Mario? Mario. I can never say that name right. Thanks for logging in. So so like I was saying, I went out and I just learning how to play. And I'm in church, you got the girls, you want to get some burn from the girls. So, you want to, whatever they, are impressed by it, you try to go after it. That's what I was doing. So girls, they was get into Yanni and all that stuff. And, keyboard players. Wasn't even in church. Yanni ain't no church, but he was a keyboard player. So I started learning his stuff just by ear because I was motivated. I was motivated by the girls. All right. So it wasn't to serve God. I'm not even going to sit there in front, sit there and say, I wanted to use my talents for the Lord because I'd be lying to you. Wasn't what it was for. All right. Initially. And we all got our selfish reasons for stuff. So I'm learning to play, listening to this guy, listening to other people. And I didn't know what I was doing. I remember the first song I learned was called One Man's Dream. And I learned that. Then when I came to church, I didn't even say nothing to nobody. I made sure the girls was around. It was an earshot. We had this little, it wasn't even little. It was kind of little. It was an upright piano we used to have because in the main sanctuary it was the organ. And, the other, we had the Kurzweil and a Roland JV90. And, I'm sitting down there, I'm looking, I'm making sure, all right, they're in earshot, because we all would go back there and congregate, make sure that, the conversations came down to a little low. So I just jumped off on the keyboard. So I started playing, this little thing in C minor. And it was like, where's that coming from? My head was getting so swole, man. And they started coming over. Oh my God, Chris, I didn't know you know how to play. I'm like, yeah, it's a little something. I just kind of picked it up. But boy, I was feeling myself that day. And that's all I knew. So I learned that. And then somebody showed me some other things like the dun, 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 dun. So I didn't know, I just learned how to play like that. But that was the limit to my playing. I went from A to B, and I wasn't going to get to Z because, that was the only place I was going to get to. So after that, I started to look at books. I started to get really serious about it because the MD heard me. He's looking to be replaced. He was like, all right, well, I want you to learn how to play, except that if you know anything about, cats from the 90s and just before YouTube and all this, learn how to play was like, shut up and listen, bro. I'm going to play this and you're going to hear it. That's like how you learn how to hear and play. So I didn't know what he was doing. So my YouTube was the library. That's what I went out to go do. I went out to go to the library. So I started getting all these books. I started getting Easy Charlie Brown books and learn all this stuff. So went through a lot of frustration with that because there was no section in the library that said gospel keyboard or gospel progression university or nothing like that. So I said, all right, this is crazy because long story short, People say that whenever the story's already too long, but the point is here is that I went and I took all the information that I had and couldn't do much with it. Because when I tried to communicate back with my music director, when I went back to church, I said, look, this is what you're playing. You're playing a G minor 7 flat 5. You're going to a C minor chord, and then you're going to, an F dominant. I could have been speaking Lebanese to him. He had no idea what I was talking about, where I was coming from, what I was trying to do. So, that's how I learned, but my learning was limited. He couldn't show me what he was doing because he wasn't really a teacher. Like, you guys have YouTube. You guys have people like myself. You guys got a bunch of folks coming on here showing you stuff, all right? And sometimes they won't show you the process. And I still struggle with things. I'm not even going to sit here in front and act like, I got all my ducks are in a row. Everything is, great for me. I still get this licks and things that I'm still struggling to try to get. All right. I'm still, getting my hand position right. I've been playing for, years, since the 90s. All right. Now we're in 2020. So maybe 20 years or so. I've been playing for a minute, and my ability, all right, I got not from my music director. I had to listen. All right. My ear was trained like that, but I'd gotten when I actually got a keyboard and I discovered MIDI files. So what I started doing was taking the MIDI files that I heard all these cool licks from or whatever, and I'll put them in the keyboard and play it back because it had MIDI capability. I think it was a floppy disk. I remember that. I put it inside the keyboard. So that's when my playing went from this, and it just took off because I had like a virtual teacher, so to speak. You see, you guys got YouTube, you got all this stuff. You got people like myself, like I said, to teach you and to help you. So be encouraged. I came from that. My playing took off, and then I impressed my music director, and he was like, wow, you need to start playing. You need to start coming on. And I started to come on. But they needed, musicians because he was going to be getting ready to be the pastor of the church and all that, and they wanted musicians. I was playing the drums. I moved from the drums, and I started doing that. Then he was basically saying, you're ready for this. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I knew everything by rote. I learned my very first song that I learned from like sheet music. I started to learn how to read sheet music because I assumed all musicians did. And that's why I'm so theory heavy, because that's how I started to learn. And it was mixed with some ear training, like listening to him and other people. So I remember the first song I started to learn was a song by, I forgot her name, man, Mariah Carey. All right. I think it was called Hero. And it was an E. I played it, and I impressed one of the other musicians. He was, like blown away by it. And I kind of taught myself, but my playing could have taken off a lot sooner had I discovered a teacher and had music theory. Now, again, you guys have YouTube, you guys have all this stuff on here. And I think, even with my kids, I'm like, y'all got like this whole library in front of you. When I was a kid, I had to go to the library with books lined up against the wall. You have all these things on here. And it can be encouraging and discouraging at the same time because it can be overwhelming. And I understand how that is, man. I understand because you got so much information on here. Some of it is paid, some of it is free. And for myself, I know where I came from. I really do. And I know where I still am right now. I'm no better than you as far as being on this journey. I haven't arrived. I'm no guru. No matter how good I get, no matter how much ability I amass, there's always more to learn. I just want to take you guys with me on the journey as I develop and as I grow. You guys grow and develop with me because I didn't have anybody holding my hand. So when you have people on here, they're showing you all this stuff and they want to appear and they want to come off like, they got everything together. They're the best of the best because a lot of times they want, it's marketing and they want to sell you stuff. And that's fine. Listen, I ain't nobody that's trying to, I'm not hating the hustle. I'm not hating the grind. I get it. But I also get that I'm here and I got this ability, this gift that I learned to play. I was about 20 years old. And I believe that I can help people. I believe that I'm here to help people to get from point A to point B. Really, what I'm trying to do on this channel is get all of you to exceed me, where the teacher can exceed the master. I don't have any ego when it comes to that kind of stuff. All I want is for y'all to give me credit. I'm just kidding. No. All I want is for y'all to understand that when you go from A to B, you have to share that. When you go from B to C, you got to share that. The reason why you have to share. Now listen to this. I've heard this from, I don't know if it was Deepak Chopra or one of these newish cats out there, but I really believe this to be true. The more you can share something, the better you get. The more you share something, the better you get. Because you teach, you increase it. And somehow I think God sees that, and he sees that you're blessing people with your ability. So as you get better, you listen to me, you listen to other people, be encouraged and stay encouraged. You're going to grow. We're all growing at different paces. Don't think because, you see this person online and you see them develop or you see where they are, you want to get there and you try to get like me or somebody else and you end up smashing the keyboard. All you're going to do is just waste your money and frustrate yourself. That's not something that you want to do. All right. So I don't know how you guys are feeling about this out there. I don't know how, what your take is on all this stuff, but I think that if you can share what little you know, because there's always somebody that's going to be less than you, always somebody that's not going to be at your level. Understand that. Understand that you're at different levels. Everybody's at different levels. So, again, you have to practice, and no matter how long it takes, you just can't give up. Because honestly, if you give up, well, you ain't never gonna get to where you're trying to go. You picked this up for a reason. You got to ask yourself why. Why did I start playing? Was it like me, to show off with the girls? I mean, it doesn't matter however you start your journey. We all started someplace different. But the point is to continue on that journey. Because if you leave it, well, you won't achieve what you're trying to do. Whatever that is. If you're trying to be the greatest keyboard player, it doesn't matter. You could be, because I get a lot of people on my channel that's between like the ages of like 25 and 35, something like that. And I know that many of you probably like, man, I'm just starting out life and I don't know. It has nothing to do with it. Like I said, I got started when I was about 18. Most of the people that I played around, they were doing recitals. They were like 8 and 9 years old. So they had a good head start above, beyond me. But a lot of them now are, they're playing. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't see them on YouTube. I don't see them sharing their stuff. And, that's not an indictment against them. I don't know, for me personally, I believe that I learned to play, and I'm even at late in life to be able to share this thing with you. So remember this. If you don't take anything away, be encouraged, because know that somebody is always behind you. They're watching you, and you can take what you have and you can impart it to them, and they can be better, because it's like a seed. I was telling somebody this the other day. If I can grow my own, orchard, my apple seeds, or I can just, if I like eating them for whatever reason, I can just consume them all. And never give it to anybody and just keep it, close to the chest and just hide everything. But my legacy dies with me. Once I'm gone, that's it. I can't disseminate that to anybody else. But even if it's a few, I can give you 2, I can give you 3, I can give you 1. Almost like the parable of the sower in the Bible. But you can take that one seed and grow an entire orchard that you could feed many, many people, and it can, be so on and continue, and you just live on perpetually, so to speak. But that's the best way to do that. You take somebody that's younger than you, when I say younger than you, I don't mean necessarily chronologically in age, but, younger than you in skills and ability, and teach them a couple things. Somebody that wants to learn. You don't have to be a guru, but know that you know something. There's a reason why you're on this channel, why you go on YouTube, because you do want to improve. But I'm going to tell you this, the number one way to improve, all right, is to encourage somebody else and start pouring into somebody else. And you'd be surprised what you actually know and how you can get this person from A to B. And I'm a teacher. I teach at school, at a middle school. That's just my thing. It's what I do, and I love doing it. I love seeing people grow. That's if you can make a video and you're teaching somebody else something and you give me a shout out, not just to send people over my way to subscribe and all that, but I know I'm like, wow, I'm living my life for more than just myself. That's more proof that I'm living my life for more than just myself. I'm put here for a purpose and a reason, and I believe it's to impart knowledge to other people. You can do the same thing, but it's totally up to you whether you want to grow or stay stagnant. You'll stay stagnant for a long time if you're really selfish about it. I'm telling you, and even if you aren't selfish, you're giving everybody, even in that in itself is rewarding. But your best place of growth is sharing. So be encouraged. Don't quit. Continue. If you feel bad about what you don't know, find somebody and show them what you do know. And you'd be surprised what you do know that you think you didn't know. I find this all the time. That's one of the best ways to, to grow is to, encourage other people. So, don't quit. Don't give up. Don't think these cats are coming on YouTube and they're insanely good, and they're so good that, no one can touch them, and I can never be like them. And, maybe in 10 years, probably if I practice every day and skip sleep, it doesn't have to be like that. You'll realize you'll start growing sooner than you think. But I'm telling you, share what you know. Even if you make a little video for somebody, even if you post it on YouTube, just share what you know. Because I didn't know anything. I knew nothing. And, I'm skipping a whole lot. But, me going through the books and everything was a frustrating process. all of it. But I kept at it so many times. I wanted to quit. You know, it's just it was crazy. I just wanted to be like, you know, forget this. I don't have time for this. I ain't good enough. Look at this guy over here. Because a lot of musicians, a lot of us can be very showy. You know, we like to show off. We like to tell people like, hey, you know, I got skills. So they jump on and then they want everybody to hear them because it can be an ego thing. You know, and they go on, they play in their favorite key and their favorite song that they know really well. They know they dope, you know, they sound bad and people are looking or whatever. And they do that. And sometimes, you know, we get like a little envious, a little jealous, or even a little bit discouraged. But you don't know how they got that, you know. And I'm sure that it took them a while to, like myself, being in the practice room, you're sitting there, you're sweating, you're trying to get this thing, you know, breaking keyboards and all that other stuff. So yeah, be encouraged. All right. I don't know how many of y'all are on here, but I'm gonna just type this. Be encouraged in big capital letters. This is for who it's for, and you're in here for a reason. I can't spell encourage because I'm sometimes illiterate. There we go. Be encouraged. All right. Don't quit and don't give up. Love y'all. God bless y'all. And I will see y'all. I got something else coming up for y'all tomorrow. A cool little trick is going to be posted tomorrow around 9 o'clock. So tell me what y'all think of that. Just give me a shout in the comment section. All right, peeps. We will talk soon, and I'll see y'all either in the next stream or, well, tomorrow. Y'all gonna see the next video. All right, peace, guys.